My second book, Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery, was a little larger than my first book, Genius. It's about 340 pages, where Genius was like 320, I think. A lot more illustrations in here. This one's a little beat up right here, but this is what I had here on the bookshelf. More illustrations. What I did here with this is when I got through writing Genius of the Tarot, by the time I was done writing it, I realized there was even a lot more than I thought of as far as a connection between creative thinking and the tarot. And I thought, wow, I got to write another book right away to talk about even more things that were involved here that I think are really draw a real straight line to the two, a connection between the two with conceptual blending. So that's what Genius is. That's what Essential Tarot was about. Again, I used the Rider-Waite for this book too, but I also used the one JJ Swiss with that book. I had them both in there. So let's take a look at this and see what we got. Okay, Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery. Dedication. We have 9 chapters. Acknowledgements. Okay, preface. Introduction. New maps to an old world. Here I just go into a new way of looking at the tarot based on what we know today. A brief history, but there again, we're talking about what we know, a brief history as far as what we know today and what I learned from where we were from when I first got involved with the tarot in 1970, 1960, 69. These illustrations are Eliphas Levi's. And Tarot Cards Explains is chapter 2. Talk about the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana. I made my mouse a little bit bigger too, so we can point to certain things here a little easier. How I read the tarot, power of the card spread. I talk about how the importance of the card spread, which is the mind map, a map of your question. And I go into that. Card spread, cards placed into that card spread. And here you can see ideas that are gotten from those cards, placed in those card spreads. Creative Thinking and the Tarot, chapter 4. Here I tie the two in together in a way that I think makes sense. Random stimulus, randomly placed tarot cards, conceptual blending, and the tarot card interpretation. Conceptual blending. Examples of it. Here we have a question, a random stimulus added to that question gives us an idea. Here we have a card position of a card spread, randomly placed tarot card added to that position, we get an idea. They work the same. What are mind maps? I go into that, showing the mind map, ideas from the mind map. I go into some more. Chapter 6, we go into defining the cards. The tarot is a pack of endless meanings and ideas all coming from one source, you, quote, my quote. Ways of defining the tarot cards, traditional definitions, keywords, meanings. I go into how that all works. Keyword examples, cards imagery, using all 3, quick reference list, about my quick reference list. I use the same quick reference list I use in Genius of the Tarot. The left, now I talk about how these cards are laid out in the card meanings. The left-hand page, what's there, the right-hand page, what's there. Quick reference list for the Major Arcana, the 22 Major Arcana. And here we got the Fool card. Now what I did here is on the left-hand page, I have a keyword underneath the Fool title on the left, and I have a keyword underneath the Fool on the right, too. Then I have, at a glance, keyword meanings for the card, traditional meaning. This is all on the left here. I'm also showing 2 different cards. I'm showing the Rider-Waite, and I'm showing the one JJ Swiss. Now, on the right, what I did here is I mapped out keywords, 20 keywords surrounding each card. And I have keyword meanings. The believing, detached, carefree, non-conforming, and all these other keywords that stem from there. And it's consistently laid out that way. At a glance, keyword, left and right page, cards, traditional meaning, map of keyword that the card could be used with. This worked out really nice, this map. And I would say that 80% of the keywords in this whole complete deck are only used one time. Some of the meanings will be used here and there in other cards. Like here we have intuition with the High Priestess. I might have, or I have silence here with the High Priestess. I might have silence in the Hermit too. But most of them you're going to find are just used the one time. And that was a painstaking project right there to find a way to do that. But it worked out real well, and it was worth the effort of doing. And I don't think I know of any other source that has done anything like this. Empress, 2 cards, the map. Emperor, leadership and authority. Traditional meaning, keywords. And that just goes on for all the cards. Then we have the 56 minor arcana. Quick reference list again on the left-hand page. Start with the Ace of Cups. Done the same way. Traditional meaning, at a glance, keywords. Rider-Waite, Swiss. Keyword. 20 keywords surrounding the card. Keywords are a lot more powerful, a lot more useful than a traditional meaning like this over here. I put that in there because most people like to see that and like to put it in there. It doesn't hurt to have it in there. And I had the space, but I think people really like the at a glance here. And this really opens up the range of the card meaning when you look at it this way, because you read all these meanings and you get a meaning for that card, but it's hard to put into words. But it means all this. And it actually means more than that. You could keep going. Cups. Keyword reference again, starting with another suit, Pentacles. Talking about the suit. And again, it's the same game. This is very handy to have. Wands. And lastly, swords. This quick reference, 56 minor arcana, is common on all 4 of those suits in this left-hand page for each suit. But I just put it in there for your convenience, that's all. And that's how that works. Then I went into card spreads explaining how a card spread works. Quick reference list, Major and Minor Arcana. And I just put that in there for your convenience, because I have this scattered through the book about 2 or 3 different places. In case you're reading one of the sample readings I have in here, and you want to know what does that Lover's card stand for again, and you can go back to here and just see that I have a keyword for lovers, or whatever the card happens to be that you're looking at. 3-card spread, past, present, and future. Sample reading. Cards that were drawn, Queen of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and the Wheel. Another example of a 3-card spread. Instead of past, present, and future, I like to use strengths, weaknesses, and opportunity. Here we have cards that were drawn for that. Here I have other ones that you could use. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, modify, create, influence, timing, location, strategy. Caution, methodical, assertive. Restrictions, obligations, differences. Advance, retract, stabilize. Here I have the 216. This is a spread that I created, 3-card with random position meanings. And I explained how to work that. It's 216 different combinations that could be used for these 3 positions. Celtic Cross. Again, I look at what, why, how, and when with my crosses. The 4 elements that I really think are important to have when keeping in mind what the position meanings of the 10 positions are going to be. Here I go over the breakdown of how I do the cross with those groupings, the same as I do with the Genius of the Tarot, but I have a different layout explaining it all. Celtic Cross, what? What is the question? Aspects of positions 1, 2, and 7. Numbers 1 and 2 and 7. Position 1, the question. Position 2, the question. Position continued. These 2 positions combine the question. Position 7, the client's perspective of the question. So here I have it, more information about that. The question continued, and the client's perspectives, 1, 2, and 7. Why? Why do you want this in your life? Aspects of positions 3, 4, and 9. 3, 4, and 9. Position 3, actions taken. Positions 4, trying to accomplish or achieve. Position 9, ultimate goal. And I go into more in depth with that. Actions taken, trying to achieve, and ultimate goal, 3, 4, and 9. Positions 5, 6, and 10. Aspects of positions 5, 6, and 10. How? How are we going to get this accomplished? Position 5, an asset that the client has going for them. Position 6, an opportunity that they should look for. Position 10, possible outcome. In depth, more detail about those 3 positions. When? What, why, how, and when. When is just one position. Position 8, when to act. Now before opportunities are lost, or wait till a more opportune time. Timing, the timing of the thing. And then wrapping up those 4 positions together. Example reading, Celtic Cross. Client, Sandra, 32 years old, single with no children, occupation, graphic designer. Her question, cards that were drawn, read in the groups, 1, 2, and 7, 1, 2, and 7. 8 of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups going into each one of those. 8 of Swords, the question. Position 2, the question continued. King of Pentacles. Position 7, client's perspective. Why do you want this in your life? Positions 3, 4, and 9. Actions taken, position 3. What you're trying to accomplish, achieve, position 4. And the ultimate goal, position 9, the actual purpose of this quest. Cards that were drawn there. And here they are with more detail. 5, 6, and 10. How are we going to accomplish this goal? The asset the client has, an opportunity, position 6. Possible outcome, position 10. And then more detail. And then 8 by itself, the timing, wrapping it up. And again, these are the cards that were drawn in the beginning. And we go over them here. Next, I have a 21 card Gypsy spread. Now this, I decided to just use the 1JJ Swiss. I explained how this spread is done. You can see it's the client, the environment, the goal, the advantages, weaknesses, opportunities, possibilities. And we go into the client. Next, we go into the environment, the goal, advantage, weakness, opportunity, and possibilities. the flexibility of the spread. I talk about that, more insight. And here's an example reading with that spread. One JJ Swiss, like I said, client, Thelma. Cards that were drawn for these positions. Positions, the first position, the client, the 3 cards. The Fool, the High Priestess, and the 7 of Pentacles. At a glance, what those mean together, and then more in depth. The Fool card, the High Priestess, and the 7 working together. The environment, these 3 cards in detail. At a glance, these 3 cards together. Goal, same way. And like I said, this is why I like to lay things out where the 2-page spreads work together. You're not flipping back and forth from another page to see what I was saying on the previous page. So all you need to know is what's on these 2 pages right here. When you open up the book, that's how you're going to see these layouts. The book is formatted that way, and it's done that way. That was a priority on any book I format to be done clearly like this. Advantages, all here. Weaknesses, all here. Opportunity, possibilities. And then wrapping it up. Wrapping up the question. Chronicles graduation day. That must have been part of the question. The 6-card force. This spread is one I made, and I think it had a lot of good potential with it. I talk about how it's done. Be an easy spread to use on a professional basis. These are the position meanings and the information about the question, feelings about it. This is actually done from the 6 Thinking Hats by Ed DeBono, I think was his name, one of a leading creative consultants. I took his 6 Thinking Hats and made a 6-card positions of a card spread instead. The information you have on this subject, the feelings about it, you feel, things that you feel personally about it. The positive aspect, negative aspects, getting creative, what options, how can we turn things around in some creative way? And then conclusions. These are the cards that were drawn. Position 1, information. We're talking about here. Position 1, information. We have the Emperor. Position 2, feelings. Feelings. Card that was drawn. 3, positive aspects, negative aspects, and 4, creative ideas. Getting creative here. In position 5 and position 6 is conclusions. Based on everything we just saw and just read, went over, what kind of a decision can we make now? And then lastly, I have conversations with the tarot, just like Genius of the Tarot. And these are other cards that come see me. None of them from the previous book of Genius. So here I have Judgment, the Moon. Actually, the Moon, I went to them. Obviously, the Moon card didn't come to me. The World. That dancer came to my house. The Fool. And lastly, I have a picture of the Mona Lisa in my apartment that I write in by the computers. And I just kept on looking at her, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a conversation with her. So I have 4 majors and the Mona Lisa. And she came and visited, talked with me. And we had a good talk. So, and that's that. And that's the end of the book. Well, it might be a good thing to see when you wonder, well, what's in this book? Okay. Well, we just went over everything that's there, how I laid it out, why I laid it out the way I did, what I was thinking, and that's that. For my second book, The Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery. Thanks for watching. Bye.